Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. So in this video, man, I kind of want to talk about one of the overlooked super welterweights. And the reason why he's overlooked is because he got knocked out early. It was a first round knockout, as a matter of fact. But it looks like his bounce back is real, man. It looks like he's really bouncing back. It looks like he's really kind of, you know what I mean, kind of finding his way. You know, it looks like he's kind of learning from his mistakes, you know, and his last couple of fights have been kind of gaining him the, what I want to say, the confidence in everything needed to complete the bounce back, basically. Now, you know, I'm going to say this right now, man. The super welterweight division is stacked. It's kind of becoming like the regular welterweight division, you know, because there's been some moving and shaking that's been going on in that division. I mean, nobody really expected, you know, Charlo to lose to Tony Harrison. Nobody really expected Jared Hurd to lose to J-Rock, you know, though they were actually the favored ones to win in those fights. But, you know, as it would happen, you know, they actually lost in those fights. Now, you know, this is kind of like a remarkable thing, because when you look at it, all of the top guys have a loss on their record in this division, pretty much. You know, I don't think there's a guy that doesn't have a O in this division. You have guys like, you know, the ones that I just named. But, you know, I think, man, that Erickson Lubin is going to be that one guy, you know, who's going to be the dark horse, man. Or let's just say he has the potential to be the dark horse in that division. Man, I mess with Erickson Lubin, man. And the thing about him, I just got done watching the Showtime little snippet they had on him, because you know, I'm going to be real with you, I didn't even know he was fighting this weekend on that Charlo Brandon Adams undercard. I didn't even know he was, they didn't really advertise him like that. But you know, from looking at him, you know, from like kind of looking at his backstory and stuff like that, you know, Erickson Lubin, man, you know, like most boxer, you know, he have the gift of gab, and you know, he has shown that he can back it up too. I mean, he stopped Ishii Smith, you know what I mean? Now, granted, Ishii Smith was over the hill and what have you, you know, but you know, he's been around some guys, you know. I don't know if being around Mike Tyson was necessarily one of the best things for him coming up in his career, but you know, he was around Mike Tyson, and possibly, you know, hopefully the good things in which he learned from Mike Tyson could rub off on him. And, you know, he also named Floyd Mayweather as his favorite fighter, you know, and he says that, you know, I guess he liked the charisma of Floyd Mayweather, and just how Floyd Mayweather had the, you know, Floyd Mayweather was the master trash talker, you know what I mean? And you know, at the same time, he was the master at getting the bag, you know. As much as we dislike Floyd Mayweather, I mean, I gotta keep a spade, you know what I mean? So and I guess, you know, Erickson Lubin wants to follow in that on that path. Now, you know, can we say that he has the special effects of Floyd Mayweather? You know, I don't know. he's heavy-handed. You know, Erickson Lubin is pretty heavy-handed. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, we got to just see what he can do, you know, against a top-tier opponent again. We got to see if he learned from that knockout that he had against, that he suffered against Charlo. You know, we got to see if he learned, made the adjustments, and see if he gets in there with an opponent that is of Jamel Charles' caliber, how he'll look. You know, but from what I see, man, I like it. You know, right? I think what is happening now is he's fighting a dude, Zakaria Atu, I think. And I think that guy has 29 W's, 6 losses. So I think, I don't know if this is going to put him in title shot contention, but we will see about that. But I don't think he should be overlooked. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, if he can put it together, he can relax, and he can be maybe the guy that nobody sees coming. You know, he can be that typhoon. You know what I mean? It remains to be seen. As I said before, I mess with Erickson Lubin. You know what I mean? I always thought the kid was good, you know, and I always thought that, you know, he just made a rookie mistake against Charlo. I try to keep things as, like, how should I say? I try to keep things as, you know, objective as possible. I do have my favorite fighters, don't get me wrong. I do like certain fighters a lot. There's certain fighters I mess with heavy, okay? But I try not to make those fighters that I like, my like for those fighters, like, override, you know, logic. You know, sometimes I admit I come short in that, you know, because I just mess with the certain fighters heavy. But, you know, I think that, you know, it remains to be seen with Erickson Lubin. I think that he has, we have to see how he looks in this Zakaria 2 fight. Chances are this Zakaria 2 character, I guarantee you he's going to be like one of those guys who makes you look bad, you know, but you'll get the victory, but the victory will be an ugly victory. Like, I think he's going to be one of those guys, you know what I mean? That's why I just have a feeling of, you know, because, like, sometimes what happens is you get these fighters, you know, you look at their record, you're like, oh, well, he has such and such losses, but they are they're a tough cookie, you know what I mean? Because the same thing happened with, like, Floyd Mayweather against Augustus. You know, Augustus had L's, but he was giving Floyd that work, you know what I mean? The same thing happens against anybody who basically fights Austin Trout. You know, Austin Trout will make you look bad, you know, no matter what, no matter how skillful, no matter how crafty you are. I would say the one who beat Austin Trout the best, the most convincing win, was Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin dissected Austin Trout. Austin Trout was eating right hands was eating left hands the whole night. Eating straight lefts the whole night and jabs the whole night. Lara, on the other hand, was, I mean, Lara was doing Lara. And you can't say that Lara was on the back foot. He wasn't really on the back foot. He was sitting on shit in that fight, you know. And, yeah, man. But, you know, Erickson Lubin, man, that would be cool to see how he looks against, like, let's just say another contender that's in title contention at 154. Like, I mean, Erickson Lubin, Brian Castano could be like a good showdown. Erickson Lubin, Michel Sordo could be a good showdown. Erickson Lubin versus trying to think who else is at 154 right now that's like contending basically. I don't know if he would be ready for a Jaime Munguia. He's kind of big, you know what I mean? Erickson Lubin versus maybe, I don't know if he's at 154 or not, but Erickson Lubin versus Rashidi Ellis would be a good fight to make, you know? Because, I mean, as it stands, man, Rashidi Ellis, man, they got that dude on the shelf at Golden Boy. He needs to just part ways, man. He ain't getting no fights over there, man. And the thing is, he has a style that can sell. You know, he just need to, like, get rid of them, man. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it a stack. Man, if you a black fighter and you sign a Golden Boy, man, you need to just pack your bags and leave. You know, that's all I'm saying, man. They have a track record of just doing black fighters not the best way, man. Basically, it's like if you're a black fighter and you go to Golden Boy, it's like you're an immigrant basically coming to a foreign land. You know what I mean? That's already hostile towards you, you know. But man, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Erickson Lubin can do, man. Not many people are talking about him, you know. I think a lot of people just are kind of writing him off, and you know, he may have something, man. He definitely may have something. I mean, I'm gonna end this by saying I think the one thing that Floyd did that was the biggest mistake was have an unbeaten record, because the thing is Floyd knew how to market himself in such a way where his unbeaten record was so remarkable. You know what I mean? You got guys like Kazagi, Andre Ward, who have unbeaten records, but they're not as remarkable as Floyd because they weren't as marketable as Floyd. You know what I mean? So if you know, if they were to come out and say, oh, you know, I'm such and such, oh, you know, no losses on my record and stuff, then it wouldn't have still left the impact that Floyd left. But because Floyd did sell that oath so well, all these other fighters now think that, you know, they gotta stay undefeated, man. And sometimes they try to protect that oath to a T, you know. And so it kind of is bad for the sport because, you know, you got guys that don't want to fight because, you know, they're afraid of losing that they're afraid of a blemish being on their record. But, you know, I never wish a fighter to lose, especially my favorite fighters. But, you know, sometimes someone told me, and this is, of course, been told to many people, that, you know, you can either take it as a loss or a lesson learned, you know. And that's pretty much how through my athletic pursuits that I'm currently still involved in, is that, you know, when I do come with shortcomings, you know, I try to swallow it as much as possible, and then I try to look at, you know, what could have been done right on my end, and then I just go and bounce back and work on those things. And usually when I come back, you know, I come back stronger, and I come back different, like night is today. And, you know, of course, when I mean different, I mean better. You know what I mean? Even like when it comes to sparring, you know, sometime in sparring, you may be like, dang, you know, like, dang, I shouldn't have let that happen. Dang, this happened. Dang, you know, I got clipped here. And then you look at those things, and then you make the adjustments. You work on those things. You come back more polished, and then that person or a different person that you're getting work with can't recognize you because you just took it, swallowed it, digested the mistakes, and just whatchamacallit, detoxed, I should say. And that detox includes getting out all those mistakes and coming back, you know, fresher. So I think hopefully this is what we're seeing with Erickson Lubin, you know. And with that being said, man, leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Let me know. Do you think Erickson Lubin is a contender, or do you think he's going to be another young prospect that falls by the wayside? Fula signing out. Anjada.